Hey guys, it's Ayden. Um, this is week 2 on T guys, and this topic is life before transition. Well, where to start? Um, I was born in New York, and I moved down to Florida when I was 8 years old. At that point, I already dressed male. I already played like a guy. Had a Power Ranger room like Batman, Ninja Turtles, all that kind of stuff. Skinned knees, all that great wrestling, climbing trees, grass stains on my pants. um, around just playing like a guy, sports, stuff like that. I in elementary school years, um, I didn't really have to worry about the bathroom because it was usually just one bathroom that everybody used. But like playing house or stuff like that at that age, going through there, like, um, I always wanted to be either the dad or the brother or the baby because it seemed like the baby never really had a gender or a sex. If not, if I couldn't be any one of those, I was like, can I be the dog? Because I wasn't gonna be anything that wasn't masculine. Um, I refused. So I wouldn't play. Uh, Most of the stuff like going to elementary school, they were just curious about me, like, because they knew I was different. And I dressed like a guy, but I had longer hair, so I didn't. They were just kind of confused, like, so there was more like a question, like, are you a boy or a girl? Not in a mean sense always, but mainly just in a like, oh, I'm curious, like, I want to know. And then if not that, then other people were just kind of like, that it was cool that I could play like a guy, I can keep up with the guys and stuff like that. Once I hit puberty, it was not a good time at all. Um, I always kind of felt like I was male, so since like 3, like I said in my intro, but once I hit puberty, I was more like, I think I truly thought that my penis was just gonna pop out and I was gonna have a deeper voice and grow facial hair and more muscle mass. But when it didn't, it was just like a huge, holy shit, this is really happening. Because I would have, of course, like, I knew I was told I was a girl, but I didn't really know what was going on. I didn't know why I felt the way I did. I didn't know that anybody else felt that way. Um, or what it was called or anything. Um, I honestly think I just thought I was going to be a boy or have a guy's body. Even though I had like my grandparents being like, oh, I guess they thought it was cute to say it. I don't really know. Just have the crazy comments, crazy grandparents comments, where they're just like, oh, you're gonna be a lady soon. Mostly my grandma, but like, you're gonna be a lady, a woman. You're gonna have boobs. And I was like, no, no, not gonna happen. No. And they're like, yeah, you are. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And basically, I was just like, get really upset because I just kept on, and I was just like, no, I'm not. It's just not gonna happen. So I would cry and get really upset. Um, and so when I hit puberty and my penis didn't pop out, um, I was really upset. Like I prayed, honestly prayed every night that please don't let me get girl parts. Please don't let this happen. You know, and it did, and I was just like, holy shit. this is really happening, and wasn't happy about it at all. It made me really depressed and all that. And once you hit middle school, everybody starts to kind of know kind of who they are and who, you know, who they like, if they like boys or if they like girls. Um, and I've always kind of knew I liked girls. I always kind of flirted with the girls, poked at them, teased them, tickled them, you know, and never really looked at the guys other nothing more than just like, hey, they were my buddies. Um, and then everything got more defined, like in in middle school, like it was more like boys do this, girls do this, girls have a locker room, boys have a locker room. That wasn't good for me. Um, Hated having to do PE, and I loved PE in elementary school. Loved it, like loved playing knockout, all that stuff. And um, felt like I couldn't even move. Like I was a ton of bricks trying to get through those girl locker room doors, and I was just getting made fun of. Um, Girls would be like, "Why are you in here? Why don't you go in the boys' locker room?" And I'm like, "Well, I would, um, and I'd rather have been there, but I couldn't really say that to them, and you had to dress out, and I didn't want to, I refused to, and I would get in trouble because you had to dress out, and I wasn't going to do it. Um, and uh, everybody, I got called he, she, it. The only one I was fine with was a man. Um, and they were just all around just. I didn't really have a clique. I didn't really have many friends. I was quiet because I didn't trust anybody. Anybody who, like, most of the time, anyone who ended up being my friend ended up talking behind my back. I think I had just very few who were nice to me, but they really had their own clique. And I even got kicked out of, like, the girls' bathroom by one of the school janitors, and you should be like, "Yo, this is girls' bathroom," and I was like, "Oh, yeah." Um, there's a lot of shit, and it was really hard to handle. And I had both guys and girls wanting to fight me. I sat alone at lunch. The only people who really sat with me were people who didn't have a place to sit or who didn't have a clique that they fit into. Um, I struggled in school. If girls tried to fight me, it didn't. I felt wrong hitting them back, so I didn't. Um, Due to feeling male and just not feeling right about ever putting a hand on a girl like that. Um, if it was a guy who tried to hit me, I would hit back. Um, I didn't start dating until I was 15. My mom told me, I dated one guy. Didn't do it because I wanted to, did it because of society. And my mom was like, oh, why don't you do it and see, just to see. And I was just like, no. But then I did, and I set the bar with him. I was like, no, if we're gonna be together, I'm not gonna touch you any way sexually. I'm not going to be naked with you, and we're not touching anything private. um, Stuff like that. And after that, the only thing I liked about him was his body, and that's because I envied it. I didn't want it sexually. I didn't want it because of that. I liked it because I envied it. I wanted it for my own. Like, I wanted to have a flat chest. I wanted to have a masculine body. Um, After that, you know, I started dating girls all the way. I felt more comfortable. I was happy with them. I just felt more like I wanted to be there for her. I wanted to protect her. I wanted to make her laugh. I wanted to make her happy. And yeah, so I didn't really fit into. I just kind of got pulled into the lesbian category because I liked girls and I really felt more like I didn't call myself that. I just said, I more felt like I'm a guy and I'm a straight male who likes women. And so that's basically my life before, realizing that I'm transgender. And once I figured that out, it was a big weight lifted to know that I wasn't the only one and to know what it was called, you know? But yeah, that was basically my life before realizing. Um, so I guess I'll wrap this up. I'll talk to you next topic. Bye, guys.